Hey traders, John Howell here, officialjohnhowell.com. In this video we're going to have a bit of a market update, SP500, Dow Jones, Russell, Nasdaq, maybe look at gold as well too if you want to go there. So let's get into it. Alright traders, let's get straight into it right now. We're looking at the S&P 500. S&P 500 had was completely rejecting at this resistance level and had a pullback. You see where the stochastics are here, and we see we had a bit more of an increase in volume to the downside on the S&P 500. And yeah, we just had a bit of a rejection off that level through there. Now, looking at this level here, and look at that, the question is when it comes to the S&P 500 is what's going to happen next. Well, due to the strength of this move and hitting this here, I would not be too surprised. I would say that we might get another 1 or 2 down days through here, and we're going to turn around, we're going to blast up for new highs. That's just what I see happening here. Even though where the stochastics are and stuff like that, it just seems like, it just seems, yes, we may get in, yes, we are oversold and stuff like that, and we need a bit of a pullback, but I just don't see this. I just don't see the strength of this move to the high side. I just see a bit more run to the downside, and then a pop to the high side, and then running. For at least the short term anyway. So that's a short term view what I see there on the S&P 500. The Dow Jones is very, very similar, but it had a much more of a bigger down day than anything else. And I think this is due to Apple. Apple announced its aftermarket hours, but I'm not sure if that's I'm not sure if that's got anything to do with what happened with Apple there. So, but anyway, you can see here how the Dow Jones ran up, had this massive down day through here. Now, if you look at the Dow Jones, we have all this support level, especially all through here. We have a support level through there. So I would not be too surprised to see if this thing has another down day or something like that, and then turns right around and blasts up towards the highs on the Dow Jones. So a big down day for the Dow Jones through here. But again, I just see there's lots and lots of support through here. If we do get below this support level, then yeah, we're going to make new lows since July. Looking at the Russell, the Russell's continued to pull back. It did fill its gap. I've been saying for quite some time that we do have a gap there, and we're likely to fill it. And that's exactly what happened on Russell. In fact, I was actually short on a Russell stock, so it gave me a really nice little paycheck there. So thank you very much, Russell. And so very sideways market now through here, pulling back. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised to see that this market holding up over the next couple of days and then running up and then making a break into the high side on an overall basis. Looking at the and also the Nasdaq is absolutely crazy, absolutely just nuts. This is obviously due to all the stocks announcements. Now, obviously, I'm not sure if you saw what happened with Apple just recently, but Apple just broke down massively after its announcement. And I get into that another video, but just quickly looking at AAPL, I'll just quickly look at Apple here. Apple is, you can see Apple open there and open there, but if you see this is what happened on the day. But if you actually look what happened on the intraday, this is what happened on the intraday. Wham! Right? So the closing price, and if I actually bring this in here a little bit more, you can actually see the closing price on this chart here is 130.75. It's going to open up tomorrow at 122. Just getting hammered, right? Absolutely hammered. So therefore Nasdaq is likely to get a big drop to the downside tomorrow based on that, and Nasdaq looks really weak. So back to Nasdaq here, you can see here once again how everything's planning out through here. And again, we're likely to see a big down day tomorrow on the Nasdaq. So, but apart from that, guys, that's what's happening through there. Gold has continued to have a bit more of a downside through here. We had a couple of two big spikes, and then we had this other small little down day through here as well too. I see gold, starting to find a bit of a bottom here over the next week, and then not a bottom. No, I shouldn't say a bottom, but at least an area of support where we're likely to see a bit of a run back up towards these levels through here, and then maybe has another downturn. We'll see what happens there. So And obviously looking at the VIX, guys, the VIX is actually still very, very, very low down the bottom here. That's what we're looking at here. Especially if you're option trading, this is actually looking very, very, very good. So all in all, guys, pretty bearish, pretty bearish day out there. But the S&P 500 to me is showing that, hey, you know what? Even though we've had a down day, that's okay. 1, 2, 3 tops. If we have a down day, another one or two more down days, and then a breakthrough, then that should see more high side to come. This is John Howell here from officialjohnhowell.com. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.